Man, oh man, oh man. Once again, the media finds a way to put Lamar Jackson as their main topic. They just find ways to talk about this dude. Listen, Pro Football Talk, I understand. You have to put out these articles to get this attention, garner the clicks. I understand. We are in a period of time where nothing's really happening football-wise. We're just a little over 2 weeks away from training camp to officially start for all NFL teams. And at that point, it's go time. You can put out everything. You have the information and all the stuff you need to talk about. So I understand this is a bit of a rough time. And I understand you got to put an article out. I get it. But really, yet another Lamar Jackson topic. And this time, you guys are just doing the most with this. All off season, they've been talking about this guy. All off season. I get it. He's one of the most popular NFL players in the league. He's also one of the best NFL players in the league. I get it. So talking about him is definitely going to bring attention. Not to mention, he's one of the most, if not the most controversial player playing right now because of his style of play. Yeah, he's definitely controversial. A lot of people don't believe in his style of play. So whenever you talk about Lamar, it's bound to garner clicks, especially if you're comparing him to another quarterback. So I get it. I understand why you like talking about Lamar Jackson. But really, come on, this time, really? You couldn't have, there was nothing else to talk about to start off the week? You couldn't have come up with something better than this? Really? Oh boy. So, apparently, they found a way to turn Lamar Jackson's event, which was an event there to, give back to the kids in his community and just give back to his community in general, something like that. They managed to poke and prick and go through everything there they could possibly see, and they somehow came out with the narrative, Lamar Jackson is risking injury with a contract extension on the way by playing with these guys on a basketball court. What? Okay, so how did we come to that conclusion? In case some of you guys didn't know, Lamar Jackson was hosting his whole it's his annual Day with Lamar that he does down in his hometown. He was out there in Florida. Lots of kids went out there. It was a nice event. They got to play games. They got to meet Lamar. And at some point, Lamar was out there playing with a lot of the guys. They were doing one-on-ones. And you saw Lamar. He would line up as a receiver or a DB and try to stop the guy. Simple fun that we all do. And, it was just him having fun and interacting with the kids and stuff like that. Somehow, Pro Football Talk looked at that and said, yes, we can take that and let's flip the narrative. What is the most important topic we're talking about with Lamar right now heading into training camp? His contract. And we're waiting to hear about the extension. We've been hearing a lot of talks about the extension happening before training camp. So with him out here doing this and doing wide receiver or DB drills apparently, he could potentially risk injury. That could hurt his contract. We got our topic for the week. Let's talk about Lamar. Come on, guys. Why? Really? This should not be it. The way they were able to twist this narrative was so... It wasn't even clever, it wasn't brilliant, but it's such a media thing to do. Take something sweet and innocent and just somebody just being a great guy and just giving back to his community and helping out the kids and just having this event to, make their day, and just leave it to the media to take that innocent situation, twist it, and now put a whole new narrative out there. Instead of it being Lamar Jackson's hosting this event for all the kids, giving back to his community, now it's about Lamar Jackson's risking injury because he's doing DB and wide receiver drills on a basketball court with these people. What in God's name are you talking about? Okay, let me get on this injury thing for a quick second because you guys need to calm down. I understand these are professional athletes. They make their money by doing their job. In order to do your job, you have to be healthy. The best ability is availability. And if these guys aren't available, they can't do the job that they're getting paid for. And with Lamar Jackson being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, I understand he has to be healthy in order to do what he needs to do. But at the same time, in the offseason, you cannot be controlling these dudes by telling them they can't go out and have fun. Now, in some cases, I agree with you. They don't need to be doing anything extreme. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson on a skateboard. I don't need to see him on a motorcycle. He shouldn't be bungee jumping or skydiving, nothing extreme. So when the jet ski incident happened last year, I was in agreement. I was like, Lamar, you want to calm down with that, man. You might want to calm down a little with that. You're jumping over jet skis. That's a little wild. They were playing the football on the beach, but for him to just jump over a jet ski and dive in the ocean, that's a little bit dangerous. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson doing that. So I agree with you on that one. But this, come on, man. Really? He's risking injury by just simple. They're not even going at it seriously. They're just having fun, and it's just simple one-on-one. We all do it. It was just him having fun with the guys there, and all of a sudden we're going to turn that into him possibly risking injury. The way we want to treat these athletes now today as if they're fragile beings, this just makes no sense to me. Of course, you don't want to see the injury risk out there with your players, but you have to understand, injuries are not controlled. They're accidents that can happen at any time. I mean, for God's sakes, John Wall, he tore his Achilles slipping in his house. He slipped in his house and tore his Achilles. An accident can happen anywhere. An injury can happen anywhere. I'm not hoping for it. Knock on wood for all the players I'm going to say. But look, Mahomes, he could trip down the stairs and get injured, and all of a sudden, he's not ready to go for camp. Josh Allen, he could slip in his bathroom and get injured. Something could happen, and all of a sudden, he's not ready to go for camp. Matter of fact, with that level of mentality, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady need to get off the golf course because they swing the wrong way. Oh no, they must have pulled something in their shoulder. They're not ready to go for training camp. There are certain limits to that. I understand you don't want them to risk injury, but there are certain limits to that. Nothing too extreme. They shouldn't be out here doing something extreme that could bring high risk of them getting injured. I get that part. But at the same time, they gotta have a life. They gotta have fun. You can't tell me Lamar Jackson and all these other players can't have fun. So what, he's supposed to stay at home now? You want him in the bubble the entire offseason? I know there are going to be some fans that are going to say, yes, I want that because I don't want my quarterback to get hurt at all. But you have to understand, these are human beings. They have interests. They want to have fun. They want to do things. As long as they're not doing anything extreme, let them have their fun. He was just out there playing with the kids. What's the problem? How did we turn this nice event into something that could possibly hinder his contract extension? How did you get from A to W? Where did we go wrong? How did you get that process? You literally went through the whole thing and you didn't even bring up that it was an event for the kids. He was giving back to his community. All you really did for the most part, the main topic you put out there was, look at him out there. He's playing, he's doing wide receiver and DB drills with these players. They're going one-on-one on the basketball court. He could risk injury by doing that. That could hinder his contract extension. What? You guys like to do too much, man. You guys like to do too much. How did we get here? I'm never going to understand it. I am in agreement. I don't want these players to be going out here and doing something extreme. But at the same time, they're human beings. They have their own interests. They want to have fun sometimes. And this is a situation where he's giving back to his community. He's having fun with the kids. They're just doing small drills. How do you turn that, something that was just nice and just giving back to his community, how do you turn that into something that could be used as a narrative that could potentially hinder his contract because now there's an injury situation there? And of course, with Lamar Jackson, it's always the injuries talk. Injuries. It's always the injuries talk with Lamar Jackson. Why? Because of his style of play? We're just going to ignore the fact that the guy always protects himself and get out of bounds? I can't, man. I can't. We be doing this all the time. Pro football talk. I'm not even mad at you for doing this. I'm not. It's expected at this point because I understand it's dry right now. Football is coming soon. You got 2 weeks left until training camp starts. So just hold on. I understand. There's nothing for you guys to talk about. But you can't talk about another player. Does it always got to be about Lamar? I mean, for God's sakes, the media talks about Lamar more than they talk about Mahomes. That don't make no damn sense. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game, but you want to spend all this time talking about Lamar. And every other day, it's always some comparison from Lamar. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson versus Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson versus Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson versus Kirk Cousins. Lamar Jackson versus Matthew Stafford. What is happening? Why do you want to talk about Lamar all the damn time? He's the only player in the league. Go talk about someone else. Why can't y'all leave my quarterback alone? Damn. Golly. Every other time, I just want to go. Anytime I'm going on Twitter, I just want to check to see any updates, maybe revolving the Ravens, any other players. And all I see is just a bunch of Lamar against this, Lamar against that. Lamar is not better than this guy. Lamar's not better than that guy. Lamar's going to have a bad season. Lamar this, Lamar that. Lamar. Can you talk about another quarterback? There's 31 other starters in the league. Go talk about another quarterback. What's going on with Josh Allen? Let's talk about him some more. Why don't you talk about the rookies? Golly, getting tired of this nonsense, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. Pro Football Talk, you wildin', but I understand. You got to get those clicks. You got to get that attention. You're just trying to survive until training camp happens. We all are. I get it. But come on, man. Be a little bit more creative. Talk about somebody else. It can't be Lamar Jackson every single week. I ain't got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching the video, man. I'm out. Peace. Good God.